Okay, folks, we are back and the lobby's up. We got the vetoes finished up and the players are all good to go. It is a veto to 1 with losers pick after that, so it's Ascension to Ire as the very first map.
Cool, man. Looking forward to it. TVZ against, it's going to be Scarlett, who has a pretty unique style of ZvT, against a guy that also has an extremely unique style in TVZ, and he likes to make it happen.
Dude, if he does a double Thor drop at least once in the series, I will be happy. I'll be very happy.
I'm hoping that he goes for the BC games that he's been doing lately on stream and also in tournaments.
Yeah, I heard I missed that in the finals. I didn't get to actually see the GSL finals, so I was like a little bit heartbroken when Zamiro was telling me like you in Battle Cruisers. I'm like, what? No.
Yeah.
But okay, in all seriousness, guys, I think there's a really cool wildcard element here with Scarlett, but GuMiho is definitely the favorite to win this. So it's gonna be a really awesome underdog tale, one way or the other.
Yeah, GuMiho went down to Rogue in the GSL in his GSL group, but he had some incredible games. And Rogue, like Artosis kept saying over and over again, has been top of the Korean ladder, like 7K MMR and change for like 2 months or something. It's actually insane. Anyway, in the bottom right here from Sidesword Gaming, this is GuMiho.
And it's on the top left going to be the Pink Zerg Scarlett, who I just want to note has been doing notorious things like proxy hatcheries and otherwise. So be wary of this drone scout that may just be looking for proxy barracks. It could also be a hatchery.
I mean, if it was scouting, I think it would have gone through the middle of the map, Rifkin. I think this is a hatchery.
I think this is a hatchery. All right, so this goes to the unique playstyles of Scarlett. This will likely be the Roach Warren to follow it up. Bit of a miss micro there with the drones for a second. That kind of hurts a bit, but she can't, of course, start the gas with the Roach Warren until she's got the hatchery down, and bloop, there we go. Also, big thank you and love to our new sub coming with Twitch Prime, Hoon Huang.
Hoon Huang?
Hoon what? Which way?
Hoon Huang? What?
It's like an old man confused.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Okay, so for GuMiho, there's problems with this. Not necessarily that it's just the Roach push that eventually gets met with Ravagers, right? Like, that is something that in and of itself is pretty difficult you got to scout for. But this is just going to be such a weird timing. Like, you can normally brace yourself and you barely get the bunker up in time after you scout with the Reaper and see the Roach War and yada, yada, yada. But with the hatchery being here, she actually gets there just before it's done every single time. So GuMiho starts command center. He's playing about as normal as he should be, but oh boy, this is not going to be a normal game for him.
Nope, and I doubt this is something he deals with too often in his regular practice.
No, most Korean Zerg don't do these things. That's what's so crazy about it. Most Korean Zerg will just play like a standard game versus GuMiho. Speedlings, Diet Reapers, you know, that whole shtick.
That's right, that shtick. I mean, like the games he plays, Rogue played standard ZvT against him, and he played very, very well against him mech style. But this is not a standard player we're looking at right here in the top left. Reaper's going to come in here. He's going to see a Roach Warren. He's going to know what's up once he sees that. I mean, he's going to already know what's up when he sees that there's no hatchery here in the natural. He's going to pull his Reaper all the way back. Yeah,
so that is usually enough to just be like, okay. And look at this. This still looks like business as usual with the links coming in delayed. He cancels the command center. There's such a smart move. Bunker starts up immediately.
Yeah, as soon as he sees no natural, and also just scouted the proxy hatch, by the way. I mean, as soon as you see no natural and those 2 links come and knock in, you're like, okay, Ravagers are coming. Start the bunker, get Cyclones immediately. He's reading it very, very well.
Here's the problem, though, right? That bunker, it doesn't actually cover everything. Scarlett should be able to, from the top side, still reach the reactor with the Ravagers, get to cause some serious damage. But the Overlords here, he tried to push off because this is the high ground vision. This is why I really enjoy that Scarlett brought a second Overlord. That way she doesn't lose that vision to possibly continue harassing this. And she doesn't want to burn transfuses on it either.
Very, very smart. And there's that bunker, like you said, doesn't cover the whole ramp here, and she can start batting away at the at the barracks and the supply depot as well. That's gonna knock some GuMiho down to almost supply loss here. You can only get one more Marine.
Oh, the Overlord's getting a little bit close though. Scarlett made a mistake.
She's got the reactor. She has one Overlord left, but it's very, very low in hit points. A Cyclone lock-on could get rid of her high ground vision.
Well, she's got a transfuse holstered. It would be a real shame to have to burn that on the Overlord, but she needs that vision.
The Ravages.
So
On the repair, yeah.
The minor supply block, cutting out production for the barracks, this is all really nice, but GuMiho can make this work with factory units.
Yep. Just Cyclones can seal the deal here for him. That one on the very, very north is very, very low. Gets the supply depot, the second supply depot at the front. So she is just making more roaches, more ravages, and amazingly a drone. I can't believe she's even making any drones at this point.
The creep spread. Oh, I was going to say she's getting a little bit close for comfort. The creep spread, though, at this point. If she gets one or two more ravagers, she can one-shot that bunker, by the way. But the creep spread starts making this a lot more, just like, maneuverable for her, if you want to say that. Like.
Yeah, that extra Overlord hatching from that proxy hatchery is going to be full on hit points to give her that high ground again. And you're absolutely right. This creep spread is actually so sick.
She can one-shot this, I think, now, right? Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
The bunker's finally broken.
All right, so stuff's getting a little bit dicey for GuMiho. He's trying to get a siege tank out. Siege tank's going to help out a ton. And these two Cyclones have been keeping him alive for the most part. SCV's been off the line on auto repair as well.
There was, past tense, a Reaper over here that was blocking out the hatchery for a time. Scarlett finally decides to expand while this goes on. The Ravagers, it's really interesting because normally when you do this, like from at home, there's no creep spread with this. So you're just driven back, you end up behind because they float the command center down to the natural. GuMiho's had to spend so much money on the defense here. He doesn't have a natural base to float on over. And even if he did, he'd have to scan, he'd have to get rid of this creep. He wouldn't actually take the natural base when you're supposed to take said natural base. So he's one-basing it instead, very much intentionally. He's going across the map with double Cyclones. This could actually be a problem for Scarlett. She doesn't have anything at home on the defense. It's all on this side of the map.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And just even pure Cyclone on their own could do a lot of damage here. We have the siege tank. These two siege tanks in this bunker are pretty much going to shut this down for now. And Scarlett's going to pull all the way back with the units. It'll take a while for those queens to get home, but the Ravagers can get there pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because she would be best off just shooting the medevac, but she can't. The Cyclone damage is actually so high. So Roaches, Ravagers, they're on the way home. Creep has been just actually kind of crazy, and she's going to be spreading that backwards. Doesn't quite have that transfuse. She doesn't want to lose the queen that has it.
Yeah, that's right. She's lost 4 drones here. Her economy not much to speak of. These Ravagers are going to bat back these Cyclones finally. Oh, that medevac is so low. Queen Rage. The hatchery actually cock-blocked him a little bit there.
It's actually not so low because it's got 2 Cyclones with it.
That's pretty good. That transfuse, of course, means she cannot inject these hatcheries, so queens don't have any juice. Oh, the fresh one.
I don't know that larva is the biggest issue right now. Actually, what's really great is with so many Ravagers, like, she can actually buy a lot of time where these units head-on engaging couldn't, so that'll be nice to see. Liberator's also not going to be an issue because if the Liberator comes, it only takes the 3 Ravagers to shoot it out of the sky. So her defense is kind of okay. She needs the money to be able to use any of the larvae she's been injecting.
It's really cool how this actually just turns into a game now. It's not something you normally see at the lower levels. The high level people can just turn this into a game with this crazy opening.
Well, she still has creeps spreading on her opponent's side of the map, which is going to be problematic for GuMiho. He's pulled several SCVs with this to try and repair the damage that he knows is coming through those corrosive biles. Scarlett does not have the greatest army of all time. In fact, fighting the Marines is going to be really difficult, but taking out the tanks, taking out the Liberator, that's what these Ravagers are best at.
And that's what the scariest units are here. I mean, the Banshee's actually pretty annoying as well, with Cloak. That's pretty tough for Scarlett to deal with.
What a way to open up a series, though, Maynard. I mean, game 1, right out the bat.
Oh, it's in 4 range. Nearly loses that Banshee. Queens have got some transfuses. They got some juice left in them. And these tanks, Scarlett's going to want to start to cross the pile of those, but the tanks are keeping her away from getting any kind of concave.
Well, that's where she sends the Queens in first, because they can take the tank hits. Transfuses will go in, corrosive biles get queued. She doesn't focus the tanks initially, though. It's a bit of concern. As we see here, when she rains down, it's fine, but she lost all the queens. So there's no round 2 of what we just saw.
That's right. That meat shield is gone for these squishy Ravagers. How's she going to get this Liberator in these tanks now? A couple more coming in to reinforce as well to make up the numbers.
Dives in. She's trying to hit the bio. I mean, it does push back the bio briefly, but as we can see, it's not killing anything. whereas Corsair's dived in would kill the tanks. I really don't know what the better call to make here is. It's tough, and GuMiho's put her in a tight chokehold.
Yeah, that's right. See if she can kick her way out of this one. These tanks just slowly moving forward, making things harder and harder for... When Scarlett gives up more and more ground, the harder and harder it is for her to hold this.
With that creep tumor, she saw an opportunity. She wasn't able to take it up, though. The leapfrogging tanks slowly creeping forward are making this very difficult for her. She cannot engage into this. Two Banshees also are just going to be the absolute worst if they get past that Spore Crawler.
Yeah. That's the first bile to actually connect with the Terran unit for a little while there, just killing that one Marine. It's GuMiho's done a great job with his units here. That Spore Crawler is going to go down, but she has Lair, she has an Overseer, and she decides now is the time. She's going to try and break the siege line. So many Terran units, so the Liberator in the sky, the Banshees as well. Is this enough?
I don't know, man. This is looking pretty grim. She like cleans this up, but it was at a cost. GuMiho got a natural base down while this went on, and oh, that Banshee.
Yeah, Banshee's still alive. The Overseer does still detect. Liberator gets out of harm's way there and does survive, and she doesn't even clean it up. There's still Terran units left over. So she lost her pretty much her whole army just now. She's making 6 more roaches to try and defend, but I mean, what she needs is to have a third hatchery and have drones on it and try and make a game out of this.
If GuMiho was all in off one base and that attack went the way it did, this is straight up devastating for Scarlett. But or for GuMiho, excuse me. But the fact that he had the natural base down, the fact that he's floating his main now over to the natural, like, he is so good to go on money. Scarlett's the one who's in a lot of trouble. Down in workers, army supply type not looking that good. Nowhere close to infestors.
Yeah, she's trying to get an infestation pit now. It's a good comeback unit. It has made magic happen before, and it will make magic happen again.
Well, I mean,
but,
you need it to pair with the Corsair Biles, right? Like, Corsair Biles are okay on the early game, and they get really bad in the mid game, and only become great again once the combo of, you know, fungal growth meets with them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But she's going to be starving to try and get the minerals that she needs to make that meat shield or that Ravager count to make the Infestor marry up work as well. She's getting Pathogen Glance immediately, getting Burrow as well. Now that's cool. I'd like to see some Burrow played. Even if she gets... I would actually love to see Tunneling Claws or something like that just for swag value. But obviously it's primarily to help out those Infestors.
If this was more of a mech game, I think we would see Tunneling Claws, but against Bio, it's not going to really accomplish much.
Yeah.
I guess heal your units quicker.
Your first few Infestors are on the way here for Scarlett. GuMiho just pulling back and just enjoying a bit more income right now. He's got a healthy enough economy. I mean, he's on 52 workers, which is almost the same as the Zerg, which is not good for the Zerg. Not fully saturated these gases though, but that's okay.
Well, Scarlett has, though, and she knows that she needs that gas for those infestors.
GuMiho is just prioritizing like marine production, getting more barracks down, making sure that he has plenty of units here on the ground to try and go for another push shortly. He has a pretty large supply advantage in that army, and he's got 1-1 on the way, which would be a lovely timing to hit with. And he's going to move across the map now.
So a lot of people are asking about Scarlett's previous decision making, like why bother trying to shoot the bio instead of the tanks, right? Like, we could just dive in and kill the tanks. And I would say that some of those were just bad decision making, but a lot of it was just like, if you dive past the bio and they get to free fire on you, that's just as bad as the tanks hitting you. Like, it's bad either way. But forward. This is 2 fungals waiting to happen. There's one.
There's a fungal. And that's a lovely fungal there, actually. GuMiho scans, though, and the Banshee's starting to target down some of these units. She hasn't been able to get the Bile combo happening just yet. Queen's coming down, maybe just help out with the battle or even transfuse a few of these Roach units. She's got 9 more on the way.
If she could just Bile the Banshees, yeah, there we go. Oh, she's gonna get the medevac with it too. Almost. But she's on the wrong side of the creep. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, whatever hatches out of this hatchery is in trouble. Siege tank's starting to get dealt with slowly but surely. So the hatchery goes down. It's a pretty big pickoff.
I don't know, but surely. The Marines team from the backside are shredding everything. The Infestors are dying. This is not good for Scarlett.
No, and especially now that the hatchery's dead. She doesn't actually have anywhere to go home to, and that's going to be GG. GuMiho, well, that was game 1, by the way, guys. Yeah. Best of 7.
Ooh, take a deep breath.
Yeah, jeez.
All right, well, I
geez.
guess we'll go to a quick commercial break, guys. We'll keep these short. We'll keep these sweet. It's been about 20 minutes since the last one, so we'll see you soon when we get to game number 2. All right, folks, we're back. Thanks for waiting for us as we get into game number 2. You want to kick away these, or I'm already done. I'm walking the intros.
Sure. In the bottom right here from Dim Expert, this is Scarlett. And did you say intros plural? In the top left here, from Sidestorm Gaming, this is GuMiho.
It's like sometimes you just walk into your own words and you're like, yeah, I'm not even going to try recovering from that. But okay, so it is loser's pick. This was Scarlett's map pick. This might be the best map she could try to come back on. She does stay at home to start, but the thing I really want to just dive into here, like, her cheeky hatchery, I don't think was too indicative of what was going to go on for the series. Yes, she's willing to all in, and yes, she's willing to do weird and crazy things against a player like GuMiho. But some maps just dictate different styles of play, and this doesn't seem like one that you would proxy hatchery on.
Nah, this one's a little bit tougher to make that kind of happen, and I think it's why? Why would you? There's actually so many cool so many cool things in this map that have map features that Scarlett can abuse. Like, it's a very good run by map. It's a very good multitask harass map.
Above all else, it's also the fact that you'd have to double high ground it, right? Like, you don't want to take either of these bases for proxy locations. Maybe down here you could argue, but like if you take it out here, you got to go through one ramp into another ramp. Like, there's a lot of ways that this could be really bad for that, but I still think some variation of an aggressive build would work for her against somebody like GuMiho. And I don't mean like a committed Nidus Worm or anything like that, but sitting back and letting him macro gives him too much power. And normally we're talking about Zerg players when we're describing a player like that, but it's definitely GuMiho who's got all the just ominous badassness to him.
Yeah, it's true. He'll make an army that won't be stopped if you leave him alone. That said, though, Scarlett will just take the map with creeping bases. She's very, very good at making sure that happens. She's got that tempo.
You give GuMiho a no rush 20 minutes, somehow he makes carriers. That's how good he is.
Yeah, he's so good. that made me laugh in GSL. It was a TVZ and a spore crawler went down. And
yeah, the Artosis thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how that clip on it. Yeah.
That's for Oracle's Artosis.
I feel like when I hear that out of Artosis, though, part of me's like either he's really enjoying that or he really didn't enjoy it, and this is the best sarcasm I've ever heard in my life.
No, he actually enjoys it. Like, it's he's actually the biggest fan of Tasteless that Tasteless has, I think.
I know. It was actually really funny while we were in Korea. We got to meet them, acting very much like not husband and wife, but wife and friend.
Yeah. For all you guys wondering at home, Tastoses are actually exactly like they are in real in cast. It's exactly what they are in real life, except they just swear a lot more.
Yeah. A lot less PC off stream, that's for sure.
A lot less PC upstream, that's right. So this Reaver comes in and sees that the hatchery's been placed in a little bit less of an orthodox position. So following along the bottom of the map here. Ooh, Hellion Raven follow up here for GuMiho, so this is a nice little move here. So usually in the build order, this Raven is used for like auto turret harassment and whatever, but it's actually really sick because it gives you free detection that roams around and you can deny creep spread. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think a player like Scarlett, even the Koreans know about the fame of her creep spread at this point, right? So something like that to shut it down, I like that investment. But the power and auto turrets is still good too, even objective of creep spread.
Yeah.
That's hash rate. She's not responding to this.
Yeah, that's very low. It's part of the weakness of this hatchery being where it is, I suppose, is that it's a little bit further away for these queens to waddle.
Well, you know, we got Cloak Banshee following this up. These queens don't want to go down. They'll need to be dealing with that.
Ooh. Reaper Grenade making things a little bit tough for the Lynx around, but the rounds have been decent for the most part. Gonna lose a couple of these Hellions for sure.
Oh. Is GuMiho gonna go mech off this, by the way?
Let's have a look. Back at his main.
He still hasn't set the commitment down, but he's still pumping out a lot of Hellions.
Yep, mech. Well, I mean, at least Hellbat. The armor is going down here for GuMiho. I think this actually might be the battle mech style that we were talking about a little bit earlier.
I mean,
where you start to get those cyclones out with the Hellbats.
if the Banshees and Helvets, they do enough damage, you can certainly justify like the late stim and going mech and all that, or sorry, bio and all that. But yeah, this definitely leans towards mech, and I'm really excited to see that because I love GuMiho's mech style. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I don't want to disappoint myself. But 5 drones get burned down here.
Yeah, bit of a barbecue happening down here. Drones on the Barbie, Griffin. Oh man, all the Hellions go down at least, so Scarlett doesn't have to worry about that anymore. But more are being made, and the armory is just about to finish here for GuMiho. So Hellbat City about to be get a new population member. We're gonna have Scarlett just burning up for the most part, just trying to get that economy back up, and it's pretty healthy at the moment. Okay. I'm a little bit worried about this follow-up though.
It's safe to say mech at this point.
Yes, safe to say.
All right, so I mean, we don't see the extra factories coming down. We don't have the tech labs. I'm sitting here pretty hyped for what is potentially Thor's, but might not need them because this Banshee's already running away with a ton of kills. The Hellions roasted up some drones earlier too. I mean, just generally, oops, sorry, hit the score. Generally speaking, this has gone very well for GuMiho so far.
Yeah, just the straight up Hellion harassment did a lot more than it should have. Look how low this hatchery is, by the way. Look how low hit points that is.
This actually creates an interesting point of contention. The drones will be pulled, obviously, and you can either chase the queens around aimlessly or just shoot the hatchery instead, right? Like.
Oh, that's a little bit low, and they are getting engaged by the Lings. Just lost 9 drones. So, pulling them back a little bit early. They're so damaged. 13 drones now. Oh man, that economy that she was looking so hard to try and get back up there has just been leveled out again by GuMiho.
Yeah, and just to be clear, it wasn't 13 more guys, just 13 total. Auto turret at the main gonna help kill a couple more, deny some mining. Hellion's making those run-bys on the side, and while this goes on, the extra factories finally get plopped down. And I am sitting here with bated breath, waiting to see Thor production.
I don't know about that.
He's getting a bit desperate here with the Hellions. Like, he's already done some pretty good damage, but he's starting to throw them away for really nothing, and I'm not enjoying that move out of GuMiho.
Yeah, he does still at least have these Banshees alive, and the Raven's still alive as well, starting to eat away a bit of that creep on the edge there. But somehow Scarlett still just manages to have insane creep spread. Look how much of the map is already covered by it.
Yeah, this is, again, like the fabled creep spread of Scarlett, right? She's actually just really good at this one amazingly good part of the game. That being said, though, I mean, mech is slow. You're not really chasing anybody on or off creeps. I feel like the dynamic of creep spread is not nearly as bad as it is versus bio, which is desperate to chase things down before stim runs out.
True that. Thors!
Actually, what's kind of neat is these are Thors with fast weapon upgrades. I don't know if I've seen this variation of this build before. Like, I
don't think so either. I expected siege tanks straight up. Like, I thought siege tanks or, and then from the reacted factory start making cyclones or something like that, but this is
Thor's all the way. But the reason I find it interesting is because we've seen a lot of Terran players actually emphasizing the armor upgrades to try to take advantage of the +1 natural armor. You got things like Hydras, Queens, Lings. They're all very fast hitting but low overall damage, so it's hard to pierce through that armor of the Thor. But the plus weapons will make them tear down buildings super duper quick. Hellbat's coming in for the round.
They did get that armor buff, by the way. Oh.
Yeah, it's actually insane to me. There's been so many like hypotheticals. How do you fix mech, right? And never did I think giving a Thor +1 armor would do it, but it seems to have done it, like just straight up. Oh, these Banshees just gonna fire away because all the Hydralists and Queens are busy dealing with the Hellbats on this side. Now Scarlett's gonna pull back, but GuMiho's already ripped off like 6 more drones.
Yeah, and he's not done yet. 3 Banshees, just one-shotting workers, tearing apart. If they wanted to engage a Queen, they absolutely could. And they're just going to take the edge of the map and get safety here. But look at this. Just GuMiho taking more bases and getting 2 medevacs with the Thors, and then there he goes, getting it across the map.
Yeah, the double Thor I've really enjoyed. The timing on this is a bit later, though. Like, Hydra's are already out, so I don't know how effective they'll be. I really do like the blue flame, though. It's a really important element to what's going on here because of the fact that it is already revealed to be Hydras. Ooh, Swarmhost. Yeah. Okay, so we've discussed this a lot in Korean cast. You haven't been here for this, right? But it's still the idea that like a lot of the Korean players don't seem to use Swarm hosts well. See if Scarlett can pull it off here versus GuMiho, who's probably had laughable Swarm hosts to deal with in the past.
Is Swarm host going to be amazing against what he's making so far? I mean, they're pretty good against Hellbats and tanks and that sort of thing, but most of his army is quite mobile at the moment.
I would say, actually, Swarm hosts have a really great role. Ooh, that was dangerous.
Yeah.
They have a really great role if the Hellion count is low or the Thor count is low. Because normally, like, tanks are splashing each other and it's no good. But because this is, like, Thor massive Hellion, any Locust that touch the ground, they're just going to get blue flamed. They've only got, like, 50 health.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, man. These blue flame Hellions with the plus upgrades as well. Don't forget.
Oh, you know what? The Banshee's going to be covered here. He's got auto turrets ready to go. But more importantly, point defense drones to nullify all that Hydra damage.
And Locust cannon as well. Oop.
Yeah, if that comes into play, but they're used across the map. So Locust go to the natural base. Here's those point defense drones I referenced. Thor's still looking strong.
Oh man, Swarm Host on cooldown. Bantling's rolling in, connecting with the Hellions, doing a decent enough job, but there is not enough left to be able to kill these stores, I feel.
No, look at the point defense drones still nullifying all that damage. Those ran out with a lot of energy. Hellions and Hellbats though, Maynard. Oh god, down here at the bottom left.
Oh man. That's just too much damage done. What a smashing there from GuMiho with that mech style. That did not look stoppable. That was pretty insane. Ooh, got some new subs just at the end of that game there.
Yeah, perfectly timed out here. Who's some frozen vegetables, please?
We'll go with that.
And then Miguel 747, thank you for coming back for 3 months in a row. Of course, if you guys are looking forward to some of the replays for this, we don't release our replay packs publicly ever, but we do release them to our subscribers after almost every single broadcast. So this is the BTSL Season 5 Finals, the off-season, if you will. This season was all invite-based only, but we do want to go back to our more open style of cups, which will be happening here for July. We already have all the cups posted. Let's invite everybody. There's actually one cup that's happening during DreamHack Valencia we need to move because we weren't sure if we were casting DreamHack Valencia or not, and I'm not saying that we are, but we definitely have to move that BTSL. So, yeah, it's back to the Open Cup format for this season. But I gotta tell you, I really enjoyed how just easy life was with the invite format. It was a breeze.
Yeah, it does cut a lot of time out of the equation and a lot of confusion.
Actually, what was really cool too, look at the way it boiled down, right? Foreigner versus Korean in the grand finals. This was 2 groups leading into a playoffs. Like, how sick was that?
Mm-hmm. And the groups are pretty good as well. I mean, I got to cast one of them with Zombie Grub a few days ago, I feel.
Yeah, you cast Group B.
Yeah, that's right, with Jon Snow.
Jon Snow, who had to replace Sue, which was unfortunate.
Feels bad.
I mean,
it was good to see Jon Snow play. He's actually really, really good. But, yeah. Anyway, he's not in this tournament right now. He got eliminated. Do you know who didn't get eliminated? In the bottom right here. This is Team Expert Scarlett.
Not eliminated yet, but not looking good either. Her opponent leads 2-0 in the upper left. We've got the Red Terran, Psystorm Gaming's GuMiho.
Yet to get a point on the board here. Now, Scarlett does have a pretty interesting style that is, that can upset players like GuMiho that are so set in their ways. But GuMiho is so creative that he's kind of a weird one to read as well.
Well, so I want to go back into discussing his mech play for a moment, right? We've actually seen a fair bit of mech out of GuMiho, and he does actually vary up. Like, even when he does, like, say, double Thor openers, he still varies up the way he does it. There's a lot more commitment. There's a +1 weapon upgrade. Like, that last game wasn't the fastest Thors we've ever seen. So what I love is that it almost feels like he's still experimenting. He's not just happy with wins, winning GSL and Lima Leagues and whatever else he gets his hand on. Like, he's still trying to improve / change the builds around, and I like to see that a lot. This is not a player who's just like getting stagnant and stale on top of his throne.
No, he's an innovator. He even actually said in his interview in GSL, he's like, I don't want to have like that. I mean, in Australia we call it like a premiership hangover when you're the champion, so you stop trying. You're like, I'm done. But he's like, no, I'm not getting slack. I'm practicing very, very hard. I'm coming with new strategies. I'm preparing very, very much for my group, and that came through in the end with him getting through along with Rogue. So it's yeah. It's quite sobering to see a guy that takes his job extremely seriously. And
GuMiho is so hot right now.
He's so hot right now, this GuMiho.
All right,
But
well,
yeah, Scarlett is sending 4 links across the map, but he did low ground expand. There is a Reaper out already, though.
I'm a little bit worried though because we're already burning through a lot of Scarlett's map picks, right? Like first map I think was her pick, then second map, third map were also her picks. It's kind of like you're gonna be in a situation where even if she does start making a comeback at this point, like you're gonna have her not getting map picks leading into the final games of the series.
Ooh.
Potentially.
Oh, these Lings actually managed to circumnavigate the Reaper and harassing this low ground expand I was talking about. And with reactors and such on the way, there's no real units for GuMiho to deal with this.
I do like that he brought the second SCV down here, trying to buy some more time for that Reaper to get back. I mean, she's obviously not going to kill the command center, but she also can't run away from the Reaper with the Lings, so she knows that too. So it's just about trying to kill a couple of SCVs, maybe, buy some time, which is always good.
Yeah, she gets the one.
Yeah,
the Reaper's going to be able to...
Oh, speed. I was going to say, the longer this takes to deal with, the speed kicks in, so that's going to be real nice timing here, but surrounded the Hellion. Oh my god, is she going to do this?
Oh my god, Redfin, I think she might.
Oh my gosh, she took a page out of No Regrets book, decided to dedicate the Lings. It does finish! It should not have finished, but it finished! That was so close on timing.
So with that CC finished, he can now float it into the main and into safety and bat away these Lings, just repairing that front wall. So... Oh, Scarlett was so close to doing critical damage to GuMiho just then.
Oh, but she's starting up a really quick layer, Maynard, and I'm really curious what her follow-up plan is.
Well, she's dropping a gas here in the main. Not many drones in the natural. So, yeah, I'm wondering as well, actually.
Like, I want to...
Anything like that.
Well, I don't think it's going to be nice. There's no vision for it, right?
Yeah,
so my
exactly.
thoughts are, like, is this just like a 2-base Spire?
Yeah, but there's no gas to mine. It's...
Yeah, I'm really confused why she's going for the faster layer, but you know what? We'll see if it works out. Took control of the early game and see if she can capitalize on it. She's still droning behind this to try and play catch up. I mean, she did a really good job at delaying, however you want to phrase it. There's no natural base for GuMiho.
Yeah, he's just floating it down now. She also caught this medevac, which has a Cyclone and 4 Marines in it, and these Lings are just playing footsies underneath it, waiting for it to unload.
Okay, 2-base Spire, by the way.
Yeah.
There you go.
So she took that third gas, hasn't saturated. There she goes. She's just saturating it now. So with 3 gases being mined fully here, she can afford a good cluster of mutas. Not like a game-ending amount. But it will catch GuMiho by surprise unless he sees it, of course, and he will take damage from it, but that's if he doesn't see it.
So Swarm Hosts are one way to deal with mech. Mutas are an older school way to deal with it. And even if it's not mech, just this opener with the Cloak Banshee, Mutas will have a much easier time dealing with than trying to chase it around with Queens.
Queens and Ling's going to bat away this drop here. And again, GuMiho does not see the Spire. He's coming into the natural, though, which is undefended with 4 Hellions. I mean, 4 drones immediately. Nice Hellion control from GuMiho, by the way. That was sick.
So it's a good pull to Scarlett, too. That could have been a lot more drones lost. Only 4 is pretty good for that surprise element.
GuMiho, once again, just like Abyssal Reef, dropping that armory, getting Banshees on the back foot.
This is really bad, though. Scarlett's actually bleeding out Overlords while this goes on, so she's supply blocked. That Spire finishes, and she can't make a single Mutalisk.
Yeah. With these 2 Overlords coming out, she will be able to. I think she's going to get, like, maybe 7? 6 or 7, but she has to deal with this push. She needs these Mutalisks like yesterday.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of anti-air. She gets those out. I think she holds this.
Yeah, it's a big if. We got the Queens going down here. The Hellbats are getting dangerously close to the drone line.
Yeah, she's trying to keep the Queens alive in the back so she can focus the Banshee with it, but that's not going to happen. Either way, when the Mutas pop, this might not be so bad, but oh gosh, drones are starting to stack up and it gets scary at that point.
Oh, the Marines actually are going to kill one of the Mutalisks here, but there goes the anti-air for GuMiho. And she will be able to bat this back, and she took a lot of damage there.
Oh, Hellions go to the main. Banshee just hold positioning in the main, too. This is bad for Scarlett. She can run the drones around all day, but she's already bled out so many. She's left with 21. Not even 18.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And GuMiho's dropping an engineering bay as soon as he saw this Mutalisk as well, so he can get turrets back at home. Obviously, there's no tac-lab factor or anything like that, so he can't make a Thor, but he may not need them.
She's pretty much out of workers. Down to 17. Yeah. There's the tap out. GG.
Wow. GuMiho on match point already. It's making short work of Scarlett so far. I mean, we were joking, half joking, that whoever met GuMiho in the final would lose, but it's looking like it's going to be the case so far. Not going to cut her out just yet.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, guys, as this might be the last game coming up. I'm hoping it's not. I really am not. Like, I'm cheering for Scarlett through and through, and not just to say that, but I would love to see more games. But we'll be back here in just a moment. Thanks for watching. Hey, folks, we're back. Thanks for watching that break. I almost timed that out perfectly. It's about 15 seconds late. Feels bad, man. But anyways, we are waiting for the players to give us the go-ahead, and we will get into game. GuMiho says, ready, just waiting on Scarlett. Booyah. All right, I actually really hope this isn't the last game, but it's tough to beat somebody like GuMiho, so best of luck to Scarlett as we get into it.
Proxima Station, our potential final battlefield in this star-studded finale, but you know, it's a decent enough map for the magic to happen here. It's a pretty good map for anti-mech play. And we'll see how it goes. In the top left, sorry, the top right here. Top left, what? Anyway, this is Psystorm Gaming's GuMiho.
And his opponent, she's trailing. Cheer for her, guys. Pray for her. It's Scarlett.
Get your prayers out for Scarlett. If you were saving prayers in your back pocket, it's time to whip them out right now.
Well, a couple things to note really quick. We did have a small contribution to the prize pool. $20 coming from Ashton Cartwright. So this is because Maynard is awesome and needs to be more Maynard in the world. Also, Rifkin is pretty legit. Wow. Nice. So that brings the prize pool up to $1,230, which is nice. And we've talked a lot about first place and last place, but second place is worth $369. So be perfectly aware. First place at $492, second place at $369. Even if Scarlett gets floored with a 4-0, she's making over $350 today.
That's a good payday for a pro gamer in StarCraft 2. That's not a bad day's work at all.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice, yeah.
It's pretty nice. There's a lot of Twitch streamers out there, myself included, that wish they made that in a day.
I wish I made that in like a week sometimes. All right, so that being said, again, I hope it's not the last series, but big thank you to Match Arena for helping us crowdfund the prize pool, getting it bigger and better than it normally would be. But it's already pretty big and awesome thanks to Twitch. Without these guys, we wouldn't have weeklies, much less monthlies. So really glad they're helping make StarCraft 2 awesome.
Match Arena is legit, and of course, Twitch supporting this tournament as well.
You know,
and the legitness of Twitch cannot be argued.
Back when Match Arena first started up, I was really apprehensive about them. Like, oh, they're offering a lot of free money. There doesn't seem to be a lot of strings attached, right? Like, you got to ask all these questions. But we're like almost 2 years into our relationship. There's never been any red flags raised between us. I've always been very happy with the way they've been able to provide support, and it's been great working with them. So, like, seriously, big uber shout outs to them. But hopefully not going to be the last thing we do with them.
Met the main Matcherino fella at DreamHack Austin.
Oh, Michael?
Michael, that's it.
Dude, Michael was drunk all the time. Like every time I ran into him at DreamHack, middle of the day, early in the morning, that dude was drunk. I love him.
Yeah, he's a man that's dedicated to his craft, whether that be drinking or providing tournament platforms for important games like StarCraft 2. And actually, like, I love him. Like, we had a lot in common. So
actually.
Really cool.
Shout out to the fans here today, too, as we got some stuff starting up here, because I've been told many times that we actually, our audience specifically, the BaseTradeTV people, use more codes for their site than any other game. Like, they'll provide like 1,000 codes for like a fighting game or something, like 10 will get used up type thing. I'm not taking shots at anybody, but the point is, be proud, guys, because we are the best when it comes to Match Arena.
Yeah. There's actually, like, I mean, we're seeing Hellion follow up here for GuMiho, not a whole lot out of the ordinary.
Sorry, Bio.
No, excuse me. This is
Bio.
Bio straight up.
Boo.
Boo. What is this? 2-1-1. Boring.
Marines and battlecruisers, maybe?
Fingers crossed. Yeah, just a quick heads up. Like, the community, people sometimes poo-poo on the StarCraft 2 community, but I've actually never seen a community, they poo-poo on it a little bit, but you know what? I've never seen a community more supportive financially, and also, like, just spending hours supporting StarCraft 2 streams, whether it be tournament or personal or otherwise. Like, there are streams that have, like, the subscriber base to viewer base is insane for StarCraft streams that don't exist in other games. And also, the other crazy thing is because of how dedicated StarCraft viewers are, they all, like, we all actually host each other, which is apparently normal in StarCraft and not normal in other games. You know, that's how crazy that is? I thought everyone hosted everyone, but apparently outside of StarCraft, not so much.
No, because everyone gets really petty about views and losing viewers and stealing. There's actually a lot of drama that goes on Twitch. But hey, you know what? My favorite story about StarCraft and their dedication is when it's about the Overwatch launch day. Every single game across the board for Blizzard saw a drop in their user base when Overwatch launched because they went to go play Overwatch, except StarCraft. StarCraft was the only game that remained constant for it. It's my favorite story because it's like, I'm like, yeah, that sounds right. That sounds about us.
Yeah, I mean, StarCraft fans rather, only really watch StarCraft, which is why they support so hard when there's a StarCraft stream. That
we ride together, we die together.
That's right. We ride into the sunset together, guys.
But
yeah,
there's a lot of
from GuMiho.
Yeah, there's a lot of creep spread he's got to go through before he can get to Scarlett's base. Creep spread was not as big of a deal when he was playing mech because mech is slow anyways. Bio, you gotta deal with that creep spread.
Certainly do. Scan gonna get 2 tumors here, but there's more where that came from. Look how much creep spread there is. Oh my god. This Baneling Nest is a little bit late to the party, but there's quite a few queens here.
Yeah, this GuMiho knew immediately like this was not a tussle he wanted to take. So picks up, but he's gonna probably drop around the sides, see to pick up creep tumors where he can. He's not gonna be complacent with the Marines.
No, well, I mean, he's put money into this, and if the 2-on-1 doesn't do damage, then it actually kind of sets you behind a little bit, because you're going for a timing attack, and if your timing attack does nothing, that sucks. You gotta look for stuff. You gotta get damage done where you can, so you gotta burn that APM to try and pick up things. Yeah, Overlord's creep spread, that sort of thing. I don't see him getting into a drone line very easily, but yeah. Can't just have all these Marines doing nothing.
They shouldn't.
Scarlett's getting 1-1 upgrades. Yeah, he shouldn't, but right now he is. He's actually breaking my heart a little bit.
No, I think he's doing this on purpose, though. This isn't complacency. He's waiting for these upgrades. Look at that timing, right? That's going to be combat shields and 1-1. Like, that's... Yeah. If he pushes in now and loses anything, then he loses a lot for the follow-up push that's going to have these upgrades. So, yes, he gives Scarlett time to get Banelings, but I think GuMiho still takes a better fight with proper upgrades.
It is true. And he is right on the edge of creep as well, so if things get dicey...
I can't believe he grabbed a queen. She had another transfuse locked and loaded.
Damn.
Scarlett is actually really good with her transfuses. This is the only reason I'm a bit surprised by it. Some Zerg players are kind of like so-so, so you don't really care. But when she misses a transfuse, you notice.
Yeah, it's a little bit uncharacteristic, but she is in like the 4th game of the series that hasn't been going very well for her at all. So, not playing her best right now.
Welcome home, Dimension. We'll get caught up in shoutouts, guys, after this game. Things are going to get really weird as Hydralisks are coming out now.
That's right. And actually, Hydras have been showing their faces, their ugly faces in ZvT lately.
Yeah, 10 health is pretty nice, huh? You know what's great about it? They don't even have to research combat shields or anything. They just get it.
They just get it, that's right. Centrifugal hooks means combat shields for the Banelings as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, Marines getting caught at the top here. They're going to get deflected for sure. There is still Marines clearing up some creep in the middle of the map here. Some Lings getting caught in the crossfire. But they're going to have to be picked up. There are so many Zerg units here. Oh, boy.
Yeah, but you know what? Normally, you're sitting here waiting for that timing of Mutalisks to come out. And that's when your medevacs become in danger. Hydras are just as good at picking off those medevacs. So GuMiho's got to be careful with this. In fact, Hydras, I would argue, are better at picking off medevacs in most situations.
Yeah, the DPS is insane. They stutter step as well. It's a scary unit. Hive on the way here for Scarlett, and I'm thinking we might be seeing some of them Vipers or something like that coming out here. That's a Hydra with Viper is like a really sick combination. But I mean, it's bio though. You can pull in some Widow Mines and that sort of thing, but and Medevacs I suppose, but Muscular Augments is the more important upgrade for Scarlett right now.
The fact that she's kind of like diving into Hive normally wouldn't be so weird. We would actually look at this and be like, oh, here comes the Ultra Timing that is a standard fast Hive. But this is a really fast Hive with Hydras. So I look at this and I'm like, it's got to be, what, Vipers or something? But like,
I think Vipers, yeah.
Like, I would love for her to do something weird. Like, just Ultras still nonetheless. Ultra Hydra? Why the hell not? How beast mode would that composition be, right?
God damn, it's be very expensive. She only has 4 bases.
Yeah, actually, I'm a little bit sad we don't see like any infestors to pair up with anything here, but
yeah, I mean, infestors would be nice, just to lock things down.
Either way, the Hive finishes up in a moment. We'll see what her master plans are with it.
I'm feeling Viper.
I mean, she doesn't have a lot of gas though. Whatever it is, she can't go for it for a few moments, anyways.
And there's a lot of Marines here with Widowmines as well. Oh, the hatchery gets killed. That's not a cancel. Widowmines getting jebaited. Not too many Banelings left with his Hydra army, but he is starting to move them back a little bit.
Ooh, he just sniped off all the Overseers. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just adrenal glands? No, she's got no real upgrades to the links. I don't know what she's doing with this.
Well, it's a bit of a doom drop in the main here, and these Hydras need to take the long way on the ground path. Oh boy.
The beauty of the static defense is it buys her the time to actually take that long path, but this choke is still a hard one to fight her, and her own macro hatchery kind of working against her here.
And his Marines do have 2-2, by the way, so they
Look
hit
at that
very,
focus
very hard.
fire. He picked off that Bailey immediately.
So low. His medivacs are low, but they live, and that's the important part.
Okay, so Scarlett loses some in the main. Kind of sucks, but she's on 73 drones and a lot of bases, and while these bases continue to get picked off, hardly the end of the world. Now we see the Vipers come into play. They're going to still have to consume and build up that energy, but I'm really curious whether Blinding Clouds will carry her army through this or not. Like, maybe you just abduct the medivacs. Maybe you parasitic bomb the medivacs. In fact, a parasitic bomb will get like a quadruple kill right now. It would be so sick. But either way, the Vipers can't do anything. They can't cast right away. They have to get energy first.
Yeah, Scarlett needs to buy time here, and she needs to try and get a good engagement against the Spire, or at least bully it back off her creep. Bentley's connecting semi-okay there with the Marines, but again, they are 2-2 Marines here against +1 upgraded Hydralisk. Bentley's rolling in. Oh, those are the Vipers! Getting straight into the battle.
Blinding Cloud would help out a ton, and that's what I'm imagining she's going for here. She sucks up the energy for it. Just taps out. GG.
Wow. Bit of an anticlimactic ending there, unfortunately, but I mean, if you want to take anything positive away from that series, that is just how insanely good our current GSL reigning champion is. That was a clean, crisp 4-0 against a, like, Scarlett's not a pushover. She is no slouch.
No, she put up a hell of a fight. Like, there's no doubt about that. But, yeah, GuMiho takes the 4-0 in the finals. Innovation with a 4-0 versus Sue. Otherwise, like, sorry for the spoilers, guys, but today is just, like, Terran versus Zerg dominance. If you're a Terran, get on the ladder now. Chances are you beat Zerg. There's something in the air.
Yeah, could feel it coming in the air tonight. That's all about that TVZ. My goodness, maybe I should start laddering, man. I haven't played Terran in about a month, and I really need to get amongst it. Oh, I guess the Caster tournament, I played Terran, but I'm not sure those games count.
By the way, thank you to Alex and Hotshot for the Prime sub. Duminch, as I mentioned before, came back 26 months to be precise, and the Jimmy Schmo 9 for 15. Come on, Scar, show him with the power of a Great White North. Fortunately, she didn't, but maybe if I had read that message earlier, she would have. That's my bad. I ruined it. I'm so sorry, everybody. Yeah,
we were casting StarCraft instead of doing shoutouts. I hear chat gets really triggered when you do that.
Well, I had a great time casting with you today, Maynard. Thank you very much for filling in.
I did too, man. I had a great time. It was a real pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. It's good to cover old Zombie Grub, give her a little bit of a rest. She's been working pretty hard lately.
Yeah,
Send
actually,
her some love as well, guys.
Just so you guys are fully aware of what went down. All right, here's the drama story. I was like, hey, Zombie Grub, you want a day off? She's like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, you've been working really hard, though. You should take a day off. She's like, nah. I'm like, I'm going to get Maynard to cast with me. She's like, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty dramatic. That's a good story.
I mean, like, Zombie Grub, for those who know, like, she's been doing a lot of stuff on the channel, doing all the stuff with me, but she also did, like, that ballistics tournament, a bunch of other stuff. Like, she's just been grinding away, and I don't want to make her bored or anything, but sometimes you do just need a breather. I know that when you covered for me last, that breather fixed my life right up, dude. So make sure you guys send some Zombie Grub some love. She's not sick. She's not dying. She'll be back for the next cast tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow we start the Aussie tournament. Now, I think the way it works, or not the Aussie tournament, excuse me, I don't know why I say Aussie, because you're here. The EU versus NA show match is what we're doing. It's going to be a round of 8 with Snoot versus Peely Peely, TLO versus Jon Snow, Lambo versus M Canning, and Thermal versus Game Time. It's going to be $900 in prizing.
I think you said Aussie because one of your commentators happens to be one.
Right, I was going to bring that up. But Zeph actually, it's unfortunate. We had tried to plan this out so perfectly, but it failed on both ends. So it's going to be myself and Zombie Grub casting tomorrow, and then like all 4 of us on the 9th, which is kind of fun because that's my birthday. But the idea was they were supposed to be like Rapid on day 1 and Zeph on day 2, or like swap them out, but they both couldn't do the first day after we scheduled it. So, but if you guys love Zeph, and I know I do, she'll be back on the channel for the 9th, and I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that's going to be some good times.
Zeph's an incredibly underrated caster. I hope you guys send her some love when she gets back on Base Trade. Back on Base Trade. She used to be one of the originals, if you guys don't remember.
Well, apparently,
all you super old schools will forget that Zeph was around back in the day.
Apparently, you have to be underrated to become a premier caster nowadays. Shout out to my boy Fear Dragon.
Attaboy, Ravi. I actually had no idea about that either. Like, no one talks to me about anything. So when that...
Oh, so you just got the shaft? Is that what happened?
What? Oh, no. I knew I wasn't going to Valencia. I knew that. But I didn't think that they were bringing Ravi. I thought that they had all the casters that they needed. I didn't know that Ravi was going. So when I saw that announcement, I was like, holy fuck yeah, Ravi, that's so sick. And I tweeted to him immediately. Like, I actually didn't see it till after my stream. But, so I was a few hours late. But I'm so excited for him, man. I really hope he kills it. I mean, I'm sure he has it within him to do it, but Ravi has the he overthinks things a little bit. Well, he's gonna really go with the flow, shit like that. You know what I mean?
Look, you know I love Fear Dragon. There's no ill intent with this, but I'm just saying we haven't had a caster crash and burn in a while. It might be also kind of fun to see that.
Oh no, don't say
but
that.
No, man. I'm hoping for the best, guys. I'm hoping for the best. Okay, like. I'm
no
saying
pressure,
I think we'll enjoy it either way because I don't think there'll be like an in-between. But anyways, we'll be back tomorrow. It'll be 3 a.m. Pacific, which I think is like 7 p.m. Korea time or something. We're going to be casting 4 best of 5s, all that round of 8 out. And today's just a bit of a rest day. So thank you guys for joining us. Maynard, final shout-outs before we go. Where can people follow you and find out more about you, all that good stuff?
Well, if you really feel obligated or like you want to, and it's not an obligation, you can follow me at MaynardSZT on the Twitter. Alternatively, you can also follow me at twitch.tv/Maynard, where I do my Monday to Friday focus goal streams, where I actually just focus on a certain aspect of players that are winning games. I don't care if I win or lose, I just want to have a good time, and I also want to learn and improve at certain parts of my game. And then ball all those things together into one big giant cluster of improvement, hopefully. So far so good. I've actually been racking up in all 3 races. So the theory works. And if you want to see it in action, it's a Twitch TV Maynard, Monday to Friday. I cast, I think it's 4 p.m. Pacific Standard is the American translation, which is about 8:30 in the morning my time.
But here's the question. Do you know whether it's PDT or PST?
It is PST.
No, it's PDT.
Isn't it?
This is really frustrating.
No, because S, I think S is for summer, but that's only for Europe. So
yeah,
CEST is for Europe, but S is actually winter.
It's really dumb, right? It's really dumb.
And it's D because of daylight savings. It's daylight time.
And what's worse is there's an actual hour difference between the two. So if somebody tells you PST, it is like a completely different time than PDT. So it's
it's actually like Todd told me that it was going to be 6 p.m. CET for my group, which is like 2 a.m. And then he was like, and then it turned out to be CEST, which is 1 a.m. So
yeah, he did the same thing for me with PST. Like he didn't. Rip. I ended up staying up all night too. Like I'm not making excuses, and I didn't bring this up a single time during my cast because I didn't want it to seem like I was making excuses. But because he didn't give me the time, I didn't sleep. So I was so fucking tired when we get to those matches. When we were done, I just passed out. So I was like, you know what? I don't even care. Cheese, win, lose, have a good time, sleep. Woo!
I didn't get to go to bed till like 5 a.m. I drank a giant can of White Monster before my games. And
which we're not sponsored by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just like, I don't drink many energy drinks. It's the only one that I do drink because it's like sugar free and I don't like sugar.
I got into G Fuel recently. I thought it was like a big hoax. I thought it was just like fucking expensive Gatorade. But that stuff works. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I heard it hits pretty hard. It's got like a almost illegal amount of caffeine in it.
What I do like about it though, despite whatever is in it, I feel like when I drink Monster or a Red Bull, I always crash at the end of it, right? Like you always get that like, whoa, okay, yeah. I'm suddenly tired. I drink
it at events.
I don't get that with G Fuel, and I don't know why.
Huh? I'm not sure either because it's not like G Fuel contents are like natural or organic or anything like that. It still has stuff in it that would give you.
Here's a bunch of ginseng in powder form. Go ahead and snort it.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys, we get
really off topic. With a razor blade.
Gotta wrap this up because I need to sleep so I can play some Pokemon Go. So do me a favor, guys. Follow me on my personal channel, Riff_King. If you want to see me play some Pokemon Go, ask me questions in my downtime, just hang out. Otherwise, follow BaseTradeTV. As I said, we're getting closer and closer to 80,000 followers. Push higher and higher to that 100K at some point. But thank you for joining us for the BTSL. I hope you had a great time. And as I said, we'll be back tomorrow bright and early with Zombie Grub and myself. In fact, there it is on Team Liquid. 19 hours and 44 minutes from now. As far as what's going on later today, you guys got the Caster Esports Invitational. Total Biscuit will be casting that. And it's like Artosis, Fear Dragon, and other people in the group. Some French people. I don't know. Maybe you heard of them, maybe you haven't. TKL and Yoko. Yoko, by the way, I'm saying it now. Yoko's going to win the tournament. Like, just straight up.
I think Yogo or Imra are going to win the tournament. Imra is actually so sick.
Anyways, thanks again for watching, everybody. We're going to end the stream with a couple minutes of ads. Then we'll find somebody to host. Have a great day. We'll see you later.